Hey guys, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I am so excited to be doing another palette bingo, and this one is a little bit more special than my last few have been to me because this palette that I'm going to be using, not only is it the first time that I'm going to be using it on my eyes, but it was a gift from my friend Alexy for my birthday, and I'm just like so beyond grateful that she sent me this palette, not because of the item that it is, not because she sent me products to try out or things to have, but because she is just so generous and she's so sweet, and she was thinking about my birthday like literally a month in advance, and it's just so sweet. And today turned into kind of the perfect day to do it because not only is it actually my birthday today, I took the day off and I just wanted to just relax and, you know, do my own thing. And it kind of turned out that I was gonna sit and film because this really does make me really happy, but it's actually like the sun is out today for the first time in what feels like so long, and it just feels really good. It's a fresh start every time that my birthday rolls around. I feel like it's the beginning of a new year for me. And anyway, the palette I'm gonna be using is much more like spring-like than what we're used to at this time of year. It is the Nabla Soul Blooming palette, and this is just a gorgeous palette, and I'm just so happy and so thankful to Alexy because it was a complete surprise that she sent me this item along with a few others, because she told me that she was gonna just send me a blush tribe palette that she was decluttering. She thought it would be more suited to my personal needs or wants or anything, and she completely surprised me when she sent me this package. Oh my gosh, it was just so sweet, and yeah, I felt so special, and it was so nice of her. So thank you again, Alexy. And I'm just so excited to play with this palette. Every time I'm gonna use this, it's gonna make me think about her and our friendship that we've kind of grown over the last over a year now, and it's just so crazy to me. So yeah, I'm so excited to play with this palette for the first time. I am so excited to play with this palette, and I think it's just gonna be so special, and this is just such a fun way for me to play with it for the very first time. So I'm so excited to do this video today. So let's just hop into it. Let's just pick the colors that I'm gonna be playing with out of all of these gorgeous shades. So this is what the inside of the palette looks like. It's filled with absolutely beautiful colors. I think no matter which shades I draw, I'm gonna come up with an amazing look just because of the textures and the shade selection within this palette, and I'm so excited to just hop into it. So yeah, let's just do it. I'm gonna generate 4 numbers from this palette, or 4 shadows from this palette rather, from 4 numbers. So I'm actually gonna go this way because this is technically the top here. So I'm gonna go 1 to 12 like this, and I'm gonna pick 4 individual numbers on random.org. So let's just do that right now. All right, so the first number is going to be 2. Shade number 2 is this shade right here. This is called Gia, or Ghee, I'm not really sure, G-E-A. And it's a gorgeous transition shade. Oh, it's really nice texture as well. So that is gonna be a beautiful color to play with. The next shade is going to be number 7. This shade right here is number 7. It is called Climbing Rose. And this is the shade number 7, which is Climbing Rose. It's this beautiful metallic red toned pink. It's a beautiful shade. All right, the next shade, one second, is gonna be 2. Oh, I already have 2. So the next shade is gonna be 5. Number 5 is this shade right here called Middle Karma, and it's a beautiful, just mid-toned brown. It actually seems to look like it's going to be quite neutral. Oh my gosh, these mattes feel so amazing. This is so soft and buttery. So that one right there is Middle Karma. So the 2 mattes that I've selected are similar in tone, but I'd say Middle Karma is much more neutral and it's a little bit deeper. So let's pick one more shade. If I feel like I want to explore more, then we might pick a 5th too. Oh, I got 5 again. I got 12. So shade number 12 is this guy right down here. So it is the deepest brown matte in this palette, and it is called Caravaggio, and it just looks like a nice chocolatey brown. Oh my god, they feel so nice. I love that this is kind of like a first impression of this palette too. And this is it right here. It almost has a little bit of a purpley undertone. Now that I've swatched it, I can see that. Actually looks so much like Colourpop Mittens, which is like one of my favorite Super Shock shadows. So I am very excited about this shade now that I've swatched it. I'm loving this color scheme, but I feel like this is gonna be a pretty predictable look. I'm gonna likely just do like a halo eye or a very simple, like everyday kind of eye with the metallic on the lid. So I wanna mix it up just a little bit and see what a fifth shade would look like. So I can maybe grab for one of those bluish kind of tones. 2, okay, got that one before. 7, okay, I already have that one. 12, I already have that one. 4, okay, we're gonna just do this 4th shade. It does not want to pick any of the like purples or blues. So I got shade number 4 for my 5th shade pick, and it's this gorgeous coral shade right here. It's like a pinky coral, and it's called Bolero, and again, it's a, oh my gosh, it's such a nice matte formula. And I put it on the front here actually. So that is Bolero right there. This is an amazing color combination. I mean, when you look at this palette, all of it is going to be a beautiful color combination. So it's not like I was imagining something to be crazy or too scary or anything too challenging with this palette. But I'm surprised actually that I didn't pull for any of these more purpley pinky tones, but I am so excited to play with the shades that I've selected. If you notice, one nail completely missing. I just found all of my polish off in one sheet on the ground. So yes, I apologize for that. Oh, you know what? I don't want to apologize for that. Whatever. It's whatever to you. But if you catch a glimpse of that, this is definitely not intentional, and I'm gonna have to fix that. So my thoughts going into this are that I'm gonna do a like smoky matte lid, and then I'm gonna do my lower lash line with this metallic and the coral. But you really never know when you're starting to just sit down and play, and I have like all this time on my hands to play. So I mean, I really don't know where the look is gonna end up going, but that's my general idea hopping into it. So let's just go for it. I'm gonna start with the lightest matte that I picked, which is this one right here called Gia. And I'm just gonna pop that into my crease. I'm not gonna do this too precisely because I'm going to end up just really smoking out the top lid. And yeah, I'm super excited to see how these perform. This shade is blending so nicely. I do have my primer, and then I put the Kat Von D Lock-It Powder Foundation on top of it just to set it. And this is blending really nicely on top. And then I'm just gonna keep building up. I'm gonna bring the shade Middle Karma also into the crease, just a little bit lower down, and I'm gonna bring that all over my lid as well. I think it would look so good to just have these two shades as like a very simple everyday eye, but we're definitely going to jazz it up just a little bit with the remaining shades, of course. So I'm going to go in next with the shade Caravaggio, this deep dark chocolatey shade right here. And like I said in the intro, this really reminds me of Colourpop Mittens, so that's the shade right down here, and this is Caravaggio as well. Mittens definitely has maybe a bit more of a red undertone to it, and you can see as it blends out, it almost looks like it's two different tones, whereas this one is a little bit more flat. But I think that Mittens just looks dimensional like that because it is a Super Shock shadow, so it has that sheen to it, so it shows a little bit more life, I guess. And it is a matte formula. This one's actually getting pretty dry, so I have to revive this one. This is a really good reminder that I have to. If that's something that you guys would like to see me do on camera, just so you can see how I kind of bring my Super Shock shadows back to life, let me know, because I would totally be down to share that with you guys, because that was something that totally confused me for a long time, and it's super easy to do. But yeah, I can share that with you for sure. So like I said, I'm gonna go right into Caravaggio. I'm actually gonna use this flat brush, but it actually is quite fluffy as well. This is the EcoTools blurring brush, and I feel like this is perfect for packing on deeper shades without it getting like too intense right from the start. And then you can actually kind of blur out, and blurring, you can blur out the edges a little bit with this brush as well because it's not too stiff and too dense. So I'm just gonna use one side of the brush, and I'm just gonna like lay it right onto the lid. So I'm gonna go back into the shade Gia, that original shade that I used, and I'm going to use that to kind of blend out the edges. However, honestly, it doesn't look like it's gonna be too hard to blend it out because that brush just places it on so nicely and not patchy. Just gonna take a completely clean brush again and just really buff out those edges, especially when I work with mattes. I find they're not as forgiving if they're not nicely blended. But you guys know, like, my personal style is not perfection by any means. So before I go into the lower lash line, I definitely have to conceal under my eyes because I didn't do that before. I did use my Pixi correction, I do have to conceal under my eyes because I didn't do that before, just anticipating that there could be fallout, but that actually wasn't an issue at all with this palette for the shades that I played with at least, and I'm really impressed by that. But I do have to conceal under my eyes because I feel a little bit crazy. I do have the Pixi correction concentrate under my eyes already, and I'm gonna go in with this Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away liquid concealer. And I was very fortunately sent this by Fallhaber Communications, which is a Toronto PR company, and they work with Charlotte Tilbury all the time, and they asked me if I wanted to try a couple items. I'm so beyond grateful that they sent this as well as the magic powder my way, and I have been playing with these quite a lot. I did do a review of the Magic Away liquid concealer on my blog. I'm going to play with this. I haven't used this very much at all, but today of all days, I just feel like it's a really fun day to treat myself to some more luxury products in my collection, and I'm really loving this at the moment, so why not get use out of it? It is beautiful concealer. So I'm just going to pop that under my eyes with the little applicator. I think this is really easy, especially like I wake up super early. I get up at around 5:30 in the morning to get ready for work. And it's just so easy because I know I'm not going to over apply product with this. I've just been loving it. It blends away easily. I do have the rest of my base on, like I even have my highlight and my blush on. I don't know what I was thinking. So I'm going to have to try to be a little bit strategic in blending this away. But you can see like it just really like brightens the under eyes without looking cakey or too much. I really do like it. And I hate that I like it because it's an expensive concealer. It's something, honestly, until I use it up, I don't know if I'll repurchase it. It's something that was definitely on my radar for quite some time, but I mean, if you have the money and if you have like a discount at Sephora or something, then I would definitely recommend it. If you're looking for something luxury to just play with and to treat yourself to, I'd recommend it for that. But this is not something I'd say is like the be all and end all. I'll just admit it right there because it's expensive. It really is expensive. This is not sponsored, by the way. I feel like obviously it's not sponsored. I was sent this product for consideration and to potentially mention on my channel or my Instagram or my blog, but I've just been loving it so much that I just wanted to use it on camera. I have been using this a little bit. I've used it only a couple times because I love my Too Faced Peach Perfect powder and I just know it works for me. And honestly, early mornings going to work, I don't want to play around. I don't want to try new things. I just want to use what I know and love. So I really just want to set underneath my eyes, down onto my cheeks and beside my nose, on my chin where I have all of this kind of like, you know, nonsense happening, and then where I put my concealer in the center of my forehead as well. The rest of my face lately I haven't needed to set at all. because my skin is getting quite dry on Appearance. And I also have already like my blush, my bronzer, and my highlight on, so it's not like I need to set on top of that. So I'm just gonna set here mostly, because that's where things tend to budge. Wherever I have texture, products always move around on me. Oh, I should have probably amped up the concealer here, but whatever. That's just how it's going. I'm just gonna pop it right here and on my nose. And for my under eyes, I'm just going to dab my sponge underneath of there one more time. And I'm actually gonna go in like with the sponge, and I do a very light bake under my eyes on a daily basis. I always use a sponge because I get to really press it into the skin. And I'm just going to do that with this guy. I hope it doesn't like deepen or anything like that, get cakey. It seems like it's going really nicely. I don't know, I'll have to report back to you guys about how it wears. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So let me know if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about this powder. Yeah, you know what? It kind of caked up a little bit there, but it's very brightening. Like I can see myself in the viewfinder and it looks very bright. I like that. So now for the lower lash line, I'm gonna use the shade right here. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it again. You guys gotta let me know how you pronounce that, but I'm just gonna use that to just like basically mimic the top lid just so that it feels very cohesive. And I'm actually bringing this quite far down. I've been really liking using my eyeshadows a little bit farther down than I'm used to. I think because I have small hooded eyes, I think it just, I don't know, it plays really nicely on them. Sometimes it can look a little bit heavy, but if I'm using mattes like this, especially lighter toned mattes, I don't find it looks too heavy. I don't know, I've just been digging it lately. Kind of hides the under eye bags too. And now I'm going to go in with the shade Bolero, which is the 5th shade that I selected. And I am just going to basically bring it right on top of all of that shadow. I'm just going to keep it a little bit closer to the lower lash line. And of course my one under eye is already running. Watering? I mean watering. So now I'm going to go in with the final shade I haven't yet used. This is the shade Climbing Rose, and I'm going to try it without like any setting spray or anything. Maybe because of the shades underneath of it, this doesn't seem to have as much shine as I was originally anticipating it would. But it's also sometimes really hard to tell underneath of my ring light. So that's not to say it's not beautiful. I think it is absolutely beautiful. It's just not as impactful as I was originally expecting it would be. So now that I'm seeing the stark contrast between the lid and the lower lash line, I just want to add a touch of this shade right here, Caravaggio, just to the outer corner of the lower lash line to really tie these two together. So I just put some mascara on both the top and bottom lashes, and I feel like my eyes look quite heavy, so I ended up going in with the Wet n Wild highlighting powder in the shade Precious Petals as like an inner corner highlight, and I love the way that it really brightened up the look. It goes so perfectly with the tones, I believe, at least I think so, of the lower lash line, and it actually is the highlighter that I put on today, just anticipating using this palette. I felt like this highlighter was just going to work so well with it, and I'm really happy how it kind of ties everything in together. And the last thing I have to do now is just go in with lipstick. I was trying to decide what kind of shade I wanted to go for. Originally I was thinking if I have like deeper berry, that would look really pretty, but to be honest, I'm just feeling this lipstick. This is actually in my Project Pan Roulette, and I've just been really liking it. It goes with absolutely everything. I think it will look really nice with this look as well, and it is the Mellow matte lipstick in the shade Nude. I took off the lip liner that I had on earlier because that was just a little bit more brown than what I wanted, and I had some lip balm on, so let's just take that off. And I'm just gonna go straight in from the bullet. I feel like I get a little bit messy doing this, but I'm totally cool with that. So here's the final look of what I came up with using the Soul Blooming palette for this palette bingo. This was so much fun. Definitely looking at this palette, this is not the first kind of look that I would have came up with to use this palette. I can't wait to delve into like these more beautiful, all these shimmers look absolutely beautiful. So I can't wait to delve into those and just play around with this palette so much more. So thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me. I can't wait to keep playing with this palette. Thank you for taking some of the time out of your day to be with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.